So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, what's up, Latchkey Kids and Driving Mutants? How is your week going so far? Let me adjust that. That's better. Oh, let me take the banner down. I always forget to take the banner down. I got to redo my intro so that I don't have to use a banner. So let's see what's up. Jupiter Shanty says, well. Tony Man says, yo, I'm in his house. Trash Picture Show says, pimp tweet ahoy. All right. So should we get into the boys? Did y'all see episode 5? First off, so I know. Constella says week is going slow. Yeah, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. That's a nice drawing. Did you do that drawing? I like it. It has like personality. I like the lines. That's really nice. Tony Man says, so was the ding for Freddy's or Return? I'm not sure. Oh, you're talking about Fridays. Friday's live stream, it was for Freddy's Nightmares. Apparently you can't play any footage of Freddy's Nightmares. Yeah. I think, well, I should double check, but I'm almost 100% sure it was for Freddy's Nightmares and not Return of Living Dead. Although Return of Living Dead is another iffy one that I think when I did my review for Return of Living Dead, I think I had to do a dispute in order for me to, not have issues showing just the little 30-second snippet I showed in my review. And so says, thank you. My friend drew me a black Rosie the Riveter. Oh, that's really, really nice. If you guys don't know who Rosie the Riveter is, it's because I know not everybody in here is American, but it's from, let me pull it up on my phone. It's from, I want to say, World War II. It was advertisements because during World War II, most of the men were in the military. And so they had these advertisements where they would put Rosie the Riveter up to get women to join the workforce in the factories. He says, yes, World War II. What's funny is post-World War II, many of the women that were working in factories wanted to continue to work in the factories. They a lot of them became welders or other types of jobs that they enjoyed. And so the American media came up with the whole Leave It to Beaver, Ozzie and Harriet type of propaganda, really, to push the what would you call it? The nuclear family trope, and how the American family is supposed to be the wife in the house with the pearls and all this. That really actually wasn't a thing. There was lots of women working, and then we kind of took a step in a different direction, and then had to fight back towards that direction in the 60s and 70s. Very interesting. I.e., a league of their own as well. Yes, yes, that's what one of the things that propelled the women's baseball league was the men going to war, and so they would have they started a women's baseball league, and more people were coming out to see the women play baseball. Very interesting stuff. Let me go this way. No, I think I was going the right way. Listen to me thinking out loud. That's odd. Okay, my image of Homelander didn't load properly, so oh well, we'll have to skip over Homelander and talk about A Train. But what I was going to say about Homelander was just that he's out of his depth trying to run this company, which we all knew he was going to be. Trasper says I did going to interested in if they go the way the comic with Butcher. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it looks that way. Tony Man was saying something similar, especially about this next episode. I was seeing a lot of tweets on about this, specifically this next episode. I forgot what they were calling it. Herogasm is what I think they said the next episode corresponds to the issue of the boys comic book. I almost want to say comic book or graphic novel. Like the we got this lady. I think there's missing a word, but thank you. Toyman says, do I have stills of this episode? I do have some stills of this episode. I only have about 15 pictures. I've been picky and choosy because, YouTube is very PBS like now, so I can't show certain things, but I'm showing as much as I can without getting in trouble. War propaganda posters, Trash Papers shows, yes. Or Marty for sure. There are 3 graphic novels, yes. And thank you again for sending those to me. I still haven't gotten a chance to look at them. I will try to get to look at them before Friday's episode drops, because I want to know what's in store for me. That would be cool. Okay, so what I had mentioned Homelander, and I had a great picture of him, but for some reason it said image not found when I pulled it up just now to show you, but it's just him in the boardroom. And he's pretty much being very Trump-like in how he is delegating responsibilities. He has put the Deep in charge of crime analytics, and there was a little funny Easter egg haha joke there when the Deep brought them the cupcakes that spelled out crime analytics. Then he took 2 of the cupcakes, so it just spelled anal on them. It's a blink and you miss it type of moment, but it was pretty funny. Oh, there's way more Tony, like 11. And Tony says, by the way, I know who lasts and who doesn't for this season. Oh, well, don't tell me. Let me be surprised. Bob says, I got the 5 trades plus Dear Becky. Okay. Very, very cool. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, I compared him to Donald Trump because Trump had appointed a gentleman he was a very famous surgeon. He's famous for pioneering surgery to separate conjoined twins, and he's one of the only ones that has successfully separated conjoined twins that were joined at the head. Now, logic would think that you would put this person as the Surgeon General. No, our former guy put him as the head of transportation. That's what Homelander was giving me as he was assigning duties to different people within the organization. I'm just going to put my friends wherever and not have any rhyme or reason for why they're there. Tony Man says, Trast, I have all 77 issues. They're called The Boys Omnibus. And Fever Dreamland Theater says, "Hey, Lady Shasha, Homelander is such a psychopath. I love it. He's been especially crazy this season." Yes, and shout out to the actor. I said this in the review, my last review for The Boys. That actor is doing such a great job. His name is something Star. His last name is Star with 2 R's. I can't remember his first name, but he's doing a phenomenal job. And I was saying that I hope that he doesn't get typecast because he's played this role so well. He's embodied Homelander so well that whatever he does next, I hope people give him the opportunity to show different sides to him and not just typecast him as Homelander. Trash Show says, "Oh, dude, you got the Big Bomb books. I collect I don't know what TPBS stands for." Anthony Starr, thank you. I like the coloring in your profile picture. It kind of reminds me of the gel lights they use in Creepshow. I always like when there's like a purple or a red hue lights. So it's pretty cool. What was the next thing? You know what? I will go to the next picture and then that will jog my memory. They go to see the hero. And the hero kind of reminds me of like a Clive Davis, Barry Gordy type figure, only with superheroes instead of musicians. Like his whole everything, even the way his house looked, his pictures with the different people, it was giving very much. If you've ever seen any documentaries or any interviews with Clive Davis, who's a famous music producer in America. He's one of his biggest discoveries is Whitney Houston. So like that's just phenomenal. But he's done work with so many groups I can't even name. Or like I said, Barry Gordy or Quincy Jones. Those type of figures, that's what the hero kind of reminded me of. But it was Butcher and who was with Butcher? Was it Huey? Huey and Butcher, I believe. Was Mother's Milk with them? Can't remember whether Mother's Milk was there too, but I know they went to go see the hero to try to track down Soldier Boy. And the hero, I love the way he was name dropping all the hotties from the 80s. And Huey didn't know any of them because he's a younger millennial. But I think I was expecting him to say Cheryl Lynn Finn for a second there. There was so many ladies from the 80s that he said that he dealt with. And he also threw that little Easter egg in there about Marlon Brando, which if you know Marlon Brando's backstory, he ran through Hollywood, both male and female. Like he was getting it in with everybody, including Richard Pryor, allegedly. But they went to go see him to find out whether he might know where the hell Soldier Boy is. And he's, telling all these stories, but he basically just says, well, I kept Soldier Boy's outfit and he came and picked it up, but he never told me where he was going. He just came to pick up his outfit. Crew Lover 1972 says Clive Davis, I think, brought Alicia Keys to Prominence. Yes, he did. That is another one of his discoveries, is Alicia Keys. Trash Picture says he kicked arse in Banshee 2 as Lucas Hood. Are you referring to the actor Anthony Starr? Because I haven't seen Banshee. I have heard about that, though. And there was something else I was going to say. Shout out to the actor that's playing the hero. That I want to say is Paul Reiser, if I'm not mistaken. And he's also on Stranger Things this season. So he's killing it on these TV shows. Well, I hate to call them TV shows because they're not really on TV. They're on streaming services. They live somewhere in the space between television and movie. Fever, I'm just gonna call you Fever for short. Fever says Paul Reiser was great in that part. I didn't know he was going to show up, so it was a fun surprise. The Brando mention was hilarious. Yes. If you get the chance and you like to hear like true Hollywood stories, there's a channel that's called, I'm going to type it in here so you can see how it looks. Ashley Says So. Her videos are so good on true Hollywood stories. She tells them to you like she's just sitting there in your living room talking to you. It's very engaging, but you have to watch her Marlon Brando breakdown. The story that she was able to find. Wow. Tony Man says it wasn't the hero, it was the legend. I'm sorry. You're right. The legend. And he's extremely toned down so far from this episode. Okay. Kubrick Lover 72 says he was in Mad About You. Yes, I remember that. In Aliens. Capri says, hi, will you be doing another free for all video chat anytime soon? Yeah. I think that would be cool to do on Friday. I may take Thursday off because my uncle's visiting and I want to take him around Orlando a few more times before he leaves. So I might take Thursday off. But Friday would be cool to do another free for all, or do like maybe half. I think an hour is too long to talk about Freddy's Nightmares and The Hitchhiker. I can talk about Freddy's Nightmares in like 15 minutes, and the same thing with The Hitchhiker, because it's just The Hitchhiker is only a 22-minute episode, so those we can talk about fast, and then just do a free for all for the last part of the live stream. The legend is essentially perverted Stan Lee in the Boys comic. Oh, well, this will be interesting to see, because the last time Paul Reiser played villainous was kind of like was in Aliens, or was it Alien 3 or was it Alien 2? It's been so long since I've seen Aliens and Aliens 3. I watch Alien all the time. I don't know what's funny. This is a side note. As a kid, I liked Aliens better than Alien because it was more action-packed and I felt like Alien was too slow. But as an adult, I love Alien more than Aliens. I mean, I like them both, but I've come to appreciate Alien more as I get older. I agree, Capri. That was fun. Corbett says, hey, Marty. Someone says Alien 2. Thank you. Alien 2. All right. Cool. So let me see what else happened here. This part I didn't care too much for. I felt like it was kind of out of place. I enjoy Kamiko. It took me a while to warm up to Frenchie because at first I was just like, what does he do? And I said this the other day or was it yesterday? I might have said it. I think I said it yesterday on Hood Podcast that Frenchie just walks around saying mon corps, which means my heart. But I don't see him doing a whole lot. And it's my understanding, thanks to shout out to Royama, told me that Frenchie's main characteristic is that he's supposed to be like the brains of the operation, come up with the plans. But they don't show him doing that very much. And I think that's a mistake in the writing. They should show him coming up with the plans and make his character more well-rounded. I think they're making his character just only interested in what happens with Kamiko, which is cool because Kamiko is a great character, but give Frenchie more depth so that we can care about him more. Capri says the free-for-alls are really fun. Thank you. I'm glad. I didn't mind because it's all in her head. Well, yeah, it was just a dream sequence. I was reading that the showrunners do want to do a complete musical episode, so that might be something that's coming through on season 4. This was a cool scene. Let me make that larger because that looks a little small. Let's do that. And in this scene, because we know A-Train's deal, Starlight's confronting him. And she's telling him, because of what happened to old boy that just joined the 7 and that Homelander pretty much sliced and diced. She's saying, I know what you did. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she calls him a coward, of course. But this line right here, this line was so good. Why are you so desperate to be with people who hate you? That line right there, as the kids say, she was spitting. What do y'all think about A-Train? Sorry, I didn't mean to slurp. While y'all are typing, I will advance to the next image. which is when Blue Hawk goes to a community center to talk to the quote black community because A Train is still trying to rehabilitate his image. So he because his brother, actually prompted by his brother told him, hey, this dude is over patrolling the black neighborhoods and he seems to only be well, not only, he's been using excessive force and killing people in the black community. And so A Train thinks that if they have a community meeting where Blue Hawk can be more what's the word when you're trying to make someone seem like they're part of the community, like you're trying to get people to warm up to them. Anyways, that backfires because Blue Hawk, it doesn't give a damn. It's sad. What's really sad is what happens next. If y'all haven't seen this episode, I'm sorry, but this is a major spoiler. The people, start kind of raising their voices because they're upset with what Blue Hawk is saying. And one of them yells, Black Lives Matter. And so Blue Hawk starts yelling, All Lives Matter. And then he starts yelling, Soup's Lives Matter. And he starts throwing people around. And I guess at some point, one of the people got thrown into A-Train's brother, and A-Train's brother broke his back. And the doctors are like, he can't feel anything from the waist down, which is messed up. I'm hoping that having this happen like makes a light turn on in A-Train's head, makes him wake up a little bit. Royama says Blue Hawk went to throw hands. Yes, he did. Shout out to Royama. Let me go on to the next thing. I don't see color. I only see crime. Look at the faces, especially Homegirl's face here on the right. Yeah, I would be looking at him the same way. And also, I just noticed where they placed the American flag on his armband. It makes you think of like how the SS soldiers had that red band on their arm. I don't know if that's intentional. Most likely it is. So let's get into Maeve and Butcher, which I know he's happy he got some of that compound V. So that, it wasn't like the full compound B. He's on that, like, I don't know what you would call it. It's like what crack is to cocaine. That's the only way I can describe it. Marty says, I love that scene because it sets up what to me will be a really sad situation. She was happy to have no powers, but now Frenchie has been kidnapped by Ninja Kimiko. Kimiko will need her powers back to save him. Yeah. I forgot to mention that Frenchie got kidnapped. I laughed at Blue Hawk hit on all the talking points that tons of people use, i.e. throwing statistics and shit. Did my prediction not post? Maybe I scrolled past it. I didn't see it. Oh, I do see it up here. My bad. I missed it. It says, I feel that she's going to have to revert to violence to save Frenchie. The Butcher is trying his best shot to kill Homelander with Soldier Boy. It's going to fail and it's going to be on. Well, I know that fight is going to be amazing. I wonder if she's going to purposely take the V again. Because the first time it wasn't on purpose. It was administered to her, I think, by force. Well, we'll see how much she loves Frenchie. So you and Marty are on the same page with that. The thing I liked with A-Train is he got a taste of his own medicine when Blue Hawk gave that shitty apology, just like he did to Huey when he killed Huey's girlfriend. Good point. That's a good point, because the show opens, the very first season, with A-Train running straight through that girl. That sounds... I didn't mean it to sound the way it sounded, but you know what I meant. Right after this comes another interesting part that at first I was perplexed by, but then I got it. Apparently, I guess Homelander could pretty much smell Butcher still on Queen Maeve, and so he's talking to her, and I guess he says that he loved her. I don't know whether, like, he says this, but is Homelander capable of love? That's the thing. I don't know, but he says that he loved her. And she says, I hated you. And then out of nowhere, if you look down for 1 second or you blink and you missed it, Black Noir pops up, throws something over her head and just kidnaps her ass. And I was thinking to myself, why would Black Noir help Homelander? I kept on mulling over, like, why would he do that? And then I remembered when Maeve stuffed the peanuts in his mouth. And maybe he's still salty about that, literally and figuratively. Because she did, I mean, that could have killed him. If he has a peanut allergy, that literally could have killed him. So yeah, he could have some feelings about her attempted murder of him. So I finally figured out why Black Noir would do that. They go back and tell everybody that she's in rehab. And then we get to this point where Seth Rogen makes his cameo in a way that I never thought I'd ever see Seth Rogen. Bob says, during the movie and Butcher scene, they hint at how much darker Butcher can become. Yeah. I don't know if I said this last week, but if I did, I'm still going to repeat it. My sister was saying how the actor, Carl Urban, she thinks that he should play Wolverine. Although I think that Marvel is probably going to cast much younger for the X-Men because they want to do so many sequels. So I think they're going to get somebody at least late 20s, early 30s. So I mean, it says too much to say about without spoiling anything. But this, why Crimson counts as, for a superhero, she does the most regular stuff. Like when we first get introduced to her, she's working at a theme park. Then now she's got like a OnlyFans type thing going on. This dude is fapping away. And let me go to the next image so you can see her end of it. She's, got these balls in her hands that he's telling her to put somewhere. I can't say because it's YouTube. But anyways, just when this is happening, that's when I guess. Also, I don't know how. Well, yeah, that's right. Because he took the I'm going to call it crack V. The crack V that Butcher takes allows him to overpower her. Because I was thinking to myself, how could she let Butcher overpower her when she could just clap her hands? But I guess Butcher and teleporting ass Huey got to her and they tied her up and put her in this cabin to try to lure Soldier Boy. Notice the little stuffed animal monkey she has in the background. I just thought that's such a random. Oh, that's right. It's not random because she said they can't cry. Her whole song is about how they can't cry. Nice touch. That's a nice touch. She's just an interesting character. It's sad what happened to her. There's a side plot going on with Mother's Milk about how Soldier Boy killed I don't know whether it's just his grandfather or his father and his grandfather, but he is pretty much having PTSD about the situation. And when he saw the news report that Soldier Boy kind of exploded in the middle of, looks like somewhere near Times Square, I don't know, but that like made his hand start shaking. And then and the side thing of that he has to deal with is that stepdaddy that is like a Homelander. Why do I want to say a Homelander simp? This dude simps for Homelander. It's weird how much he's a stan. That's what I say. That's a better term. The stepfather is a Homelander stan. And it's really ironic because the stepfather gives me, like, when I see him, I feel like that might be a Jewish actor or Jewish character, so it's even more ironic that he would stand Homelander, considering Homelander's affiliation with a literal Nazi. It's just very, very interesting. But he's dealing with a lot. Mother's Milk is dealing with a hell of a lot. Homelander ho. Yeah, he's a Homelander ho. Like, he buys everything that has Homelander on it. Bob says, on the Vought YouTube page, they put out the full version of her Chimps Don't Cry music video. That's something I'm probably never going to watch, but that is hilarious. isn't there some kind of control system over Black Noir that Stan Edgar had over him? So does Homelander have access to that device that Stan had now that he's got the boot? That's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't remember that at all. This is very true. This is very, very true. It's kind of like a governor. So if they can find Black Noir's governor and turn it off, that would be a nice thing to see. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that happen. So them tying up Crimson Countess does work, and Soldier Boy does show up, and apparently he was still in love with her. But however he got caught, it's implied that she double-crossed him in some way, and that's how he ended up caught and tortured by Russians for like 20 years or 30 years, however long it was that he was there. And it's funny because this scene is like a reversal of the earlier scene with Homelander and Queen Maeve. Well, no, not a reversal. It's actually the same thing because, both Soldier Boy and Homelander say that they love Maeve and Crimson Countess respectively. And then in return, same thing. And it's funny, both of them have red hair. Maeve and Crimson Countess. So that's very, very interesting. And of course, you think for just a moment that he's going to spare her, but nope. With his Captain America-like costume. You know what? I keep calling it a cabin, but from the inside, I think it's a trailer. But either way, she's out of here. And he comes out, and this is what he looks like now, compared to how he first looked when he came out of the chamber that they were keeping him in Russia. And speaking of simping, oh my God, the women on Twitter and some of the dudes too, they are loving the hell out of this dude, especially like people who are Supernatural fans. I know he played on Supernatural. I've seen a couple episodes of that show, but I wasn't into it like that. Tommy says, great job noticing that. I was going to mention that. Thanks. Damn, I got through this episode kind of fast. I was going to look on Twitter and see what kind of tweets are going down about this. Besides the thirst tweets after Soldier Boy. Let's move this over here. And I'm going to open a tab and we'll go on Twitter and see what's popping there. While I'm waiting, Marty, you have any live streams coming up this week? Plug your stuff. Okay, let's share. Okay. Tony Man says you've got to read the comics to get ahead of the game. This is true. I think recently I've taken to watching stuff before reading the comics because I keep bringing this up because it still is a thorn in my side. I read the comics of the Eternals, preparing for the Eternals movie, but I read the original Eternals from the 70s, and I guess the movie pretty much retcons a lot of stuff and is more based on, I guess, the Eternals from the 2000s, which I did not read. And so it was a huge letdown for me. And as I've said before, as a Stephen King fan, I've been let down so many times when I read the source material. I think the only Stephen King movies that I would say are the best adaptations, Carrie and most of Pet Cemetery, were really great adaptations. They still like it is both it's the 1990s it and the new it are great if you have not read the books, but if you have read the books you're going to be real pissed off about what they did to one of the characters that's one of the main characters. But this isn't about Stephen King, so I'll just get into what. Oh wait, one more comment here. Marty says, I wish Huey had rescued Jamie the gerbil. In the comics, the poor thing gets Richard Gere by the Blarney. Wow. That would have been interesting to see on in TV movie form. That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate demise or way to go. Okay, this tweet from Ravi says, the unholy week is here. She said, with great power comes the absolute certainty you'll turn into a right cunt. And someone says, Butcher said that. Yeah. Ezra Miller in films, Ezra Miller in real life. Don't do that to A-Train. He's not as bad as Ezra Miller. He hasn't kidnapped any children yet. Kimiko and Frenchie deserved a world. I just hate Frenchie's haircut, but I know it's part of the character. But that haircut is absolutely awful. I didn't mean to click on that. Okay. Why is the better series? I don't know what quality. Somewhat of the. My Spanish is super, super bad. They said this, but it doesn't pass or it never happens. You think you're better than all of us. I am better than all of you. I haven't seen She-Hulk. I would say better than most of Marvel, with the exception of WandaVision and Ms. Marvel so far. And also the beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because those action sequences were really good at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it's definitely better than Loki and better than Moon Knight. And like I said, I can't speak on She-Hulk because I haven't seen it. Maybe a trash fire with Jen on Saturday. Depends on work. But thank you so much for letting me get a shout out. Not a problem at all. If you guys aren't subscribed, Marty does have a channel called The Trash Picture Show, and he does do live streams on a variety of different topics and movies, but mostly within the surrounding the horror realm. But I think I've seen him do sci-fi and some action movies too. And the Jen he mentions, her channel is called Jen's Reviews from the Graves. Check her out as well. Very, very cool channels. Frenchie has superpowers in the comics. He can rip body parts and smell explosives. Well, why don't they give him his powers? Or maybe they will. Maybe they'll give him some of that crack V. I saw that meme. I think the bottom from is a good time. You're talking about this meme right here that Samir put up. Battle of the Bastards versus Ozymandias, and then it says Herogasm. Am I misremembering, or is Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones? I feel like that's from Game of Thrones. Oh, this is a great one. Mother's milk around the boys, mother's milk at home. I think that's nice. I can't imitate Jack Quaid. We talked about this, the juxtaposition between the scene with Homelander and Queen Maeve and the scene with Soldier Boy and Crimson Countess. We talked about that last week. Let me click latest because, yeah, those tweets are kind of old. Let's look at some newer tweets. Hopefully it won't be spoilers. Why is it highlighting? I love Kimiko. Officially got up the boys. What is this? Heroes are born. Wait. Oh, that's for a podcast. Malditos podcast. Okay, let's see here. Next one. The one that says the boys are better. Oh, yeah. I think it's from Good Time. Oh, you mean the movie Good Time? Yeah. Look at this. I love that you see like comments in English and now in Spanish. Now this looks like Japanese. And they're all talking about the boys. That is what's up. Just allow me. How come there's not a translation? Hit translation. Maybe if I go specifically, there it is. Translate tweet. I even saw the appearance of season 3 of The Boys. It seems that the season 1 is the most interesting, but it seems that the fun has accelerated since the second episode. It was interesting to see Butcher penetrating the scraps. The flash mob in episode 6 was what? But I wonder if it's an expression that takes into account Kamiko's mental age. So this person's watching the first season. Not a whole lot of. This one is in, looks like it's Portuguese. Let me see. Translate tweet. Yes, from Portuguese. Paul Reiser's son warned father that voice is disgusting on purpose. He lives the legend in the new season. So his son told him, the role you're about to play is gross. Tony Man says, I didn't mind the music part at all. I thought Grease when I saw it. See, that's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of Grease. I'm really trying to think, what musicals do I like? What's a musical that I like? I guess The Wiz counts. I like The Wiz. What's another musical? Rocky Horror Picture Show. I definitely like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I have a soft place in my heart for Christmas in Connecticut, which is a really, really old, like maybe from the 30s or 40s musical. You like Oh, yes, I do love Hamilton. I had my reservations about Hamilton, but when I saw it, I was like, this is tight. I like it. The first 30 minutes of The Boys got me saying, so many people are just now watching the first episode. I bet his son read the comics, probably. I started watching the other 2 comics. I started talking about comics, and I got stuck talking about the Eternals. But I also read Deadly Class and Umbrella Academy. But the show is way better in terms of satire in the show versus the comics. Yeah, I think the satire is really on point. And I like that it satirizes on different levels. Like it's satirizing performative activism while at the same time satirizing the hypocritical conservatives. I had to think of the term that they call themselves, because they say this term, but they really aren't that conservative. They're always getting caught in sex scandals. That's not conservative to me. Let's do like this. And then I didn't mean to click on a person's profile. I'm going to click on this so we get more interesting tweets. That's more Kamiko and Frenchie Love. Tony says, I added up what Rogan spent on that per minute with Scarlett with her giant beads. How much is it? Because I think it said, let me look at the image again, because it said in the corner how much it was per minute. It said $19.50 per minute, and he was on for 17 minutes and 43 seconds. How much money did he spend trying to fap? Yeah, this Twitter is kind of dry. Before and after image of me watching. I'm ready. I was not ready. Not Blue Hawk stealing the police's spiel. Marty says, I love the fact that Kamiko's actress Karen Fukuhara plays a badass in this and the Suicide Squad. But if you've ever seen her at cons, she's adorable and super nice to the fans and it's almost starstruck as them. Oh, that's really sweet to know. I like when I hear positives about actors because there's so much negative going on. Okay, Tony Man says he spent $390 because it was 20 he was still on when she got tackled. That's a lot of money to spend. This person is saying his 3-year overdue Emmy is coming. Jensen and Eric talking about Herogasm. That beard looks wild. Machina says, damn, why can't we have this shot in less blurry and in 4K? I mean, look at his incredibly perfect body for purely aesthetic and anatomically scientific reasons, of course. Mm-hmm. Oh, some artwork. I just had to draw my man Soldier Boy. Mia is back in town, says. Nice drawing, Mia. That's pretty cool. Reese the Nerd says, how U.S. history is taught what actually happened. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Bob says, this is the best superhero show I've seen since Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. Although I'm lukewarm on Peacemaker. I thought it was okay, but I don't know. Like I like Peacemaker and I like what's his name? Taekwondo Master. I liked him a lot. The other characters, I'm a little lukewarm on. I'm like, oh, I like the dude that kept following Peacemaker around. What the heck was his name? The other dude that he wanted to be a superhero. He wanted to be like a sidekick. Can't remember his name. He was okay. He was entertaining. But everybody else, I was so bored by their characterizations. And even Amanda Waller's daughter. Like I like that actress. I've seen her in other things that I've enjoyed, but I didn't like her character in this. I just felt like she seemed very I don't know, like out of place. I get why they cast her because it's supposed to be comedic, but I don't think she is. I didn't get like that she was a good comedic actress. I don't know. I like her as an actor. I saw her in she was in Chewing Gum. It was a TV show called Chewing Gum. She was really good in that. But in this, I probably would have cast somebody a little bit more. Like, how is she Amanda Waller's daughter? That's the thing. Like Amanda Waller is a very menacing person, and she seemed very, very like super soft around, like super duper soft and pampered. And I'm like, how is this Amanda? It just didn't make sense. I mean, it could happen, but it didn't make sense to me. They needed someone with a little bit more of an edge to them. How am I supposed to hate Soldier Boy when he looks like this while he says that he was waiting to be saved? Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people love the Kamiko Frenchie storyline. That's a cool on-set photo. Vigilante. Yes, thank you. I liked Vigilante. So the 3 characters I liked in that show were Peacemaker, Vigilante, and Taekwondo Master and his Cheetos or flaming hot Cheetos that he kept on eating. But everybody else, like they're a non-factor. Recast for next season. Oh, while I have this up, I should plug myself. On my other channel, I'm still working through 90 Day Fiance. Both the regular 90 Day Fiance and also Love in Paradise. So check those out. And they're live streams. I live stream on Mondays and Tuesdays. Marty says $390 for a dry poor simply. Yeah. Like at least if he went to a strip club, he'd at least get a lap dance. Like you're not getting any like I don't know. I guess just the having a person call your name or something. Maybe that's what he's into. because like that's a lot of money to spend for that. Bob says she was hard when she how to be. Let's not forget in one episode she tricked Vigilante into breaking to the police station. Yeah, she did do that. She was a smart character. I will say that. I won't take that away from her. She was a very smart character. 309. Oh, that's. I think I read that one. Poor simp. Oh, that's what Marty meant to say. Yeah, but it autocorrected to simply. I should have read that as simp. I don't know why. Vigilante. And don't look at the season 4 photo. It could be a spoiler. Okay. So, you know what? Let me get out of Twitter and let's just talk about whatever for the last 10 minutes. Are you guys interested in watching? I know either this weekend or did it already come out? The Black Door. Black Door. Black Phone is supposed to come out. Is that something anybody's going to go see? It's one of those movies where I would watch it if it was on streaming, but since it's in theaters only, I'm kind of like, maybe I'll wait. Oh, there was something I was supposed to show you guys. It just occurred to me as I was looking at the screen. The last stream that we were on, I was looking for my signed Hatchet copy. I found it. Say, this is the one that I was pulling out. That you see, it's just like a special edition, unrated version. That's the one I was pulling out, but this is the one I was looking for, which you could see Kane Hodder signed it. So that's pretty cool. And we also got to sit in the theater next to him and watch Hatchet 2. Yeah, this was the regular Hatchet, but we were watching Hatchet 2. Let me see if I can find, I have a photo saved somewhere of myself with Kane Hodder. Let me see if I can find it. Tony Man says it looks corny like the Bye Bye Man. I don't think it's as bad as the Bye Bye Man. I think it's more gonna be probably more on the level like Sinister. That's what I'm thinking, but not in a supernatural. Well, it is supernatural if the little boy's getting phone calls from deceased children, so it is technically supernatural. Crimes of the Future came on VOD today. Oh, thank you for telling me. Oh, I'm so glad because I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Bob. I was looking forward to Crimes of the Future. I'm so glad it's on VOD. See if I can find that photo. Are you all Crimes of the Future, by the way, is David Cronenberg's film. Are you Cronenberg fans? Found it. Bear with me. Let me share my screen. There it is. That's me and my sister with Kane Hodder in Orlando. I think the theater we were at were probably Waterford Lakes, I would think. Sorry, this is from a long time ago. My phone camera was slightly better than a potato, but Tony Man says it still won't be as good as Bad Ben. Bad Ben is a classic. It's a new classic in my opinion. Marty says, got to dust off Lady Shasha and chat with Jen. Was fun hanging out. You kick it. Oh, thank you so much. See, why did you write it as ass, Marty? I can hear you in my head saying it. You would have said arse. And I love the way you say that. Bob says, I like Videodrome and Existence, and Dead Ringers the best. It's been a while since I've seen Dead Ringers. I'd like to rewatch it. Videodrome, definite classic. I have Existence on my watch list because it is not streaming anywhere. But let me stop the screen. By the way, Kane Hodder was super, super sweet. Very friendly, nice dude. Like, really, really, really nice person. But most people in the horror community seem to be that way. Like whether it's Robert Englund, Tony Todd, I'm forgetting I'm trying to think of Elvira's real name, Cassandra Peterson. Everyone, Joe Bob, everyone says he's super nice when you meet him in person. Everyone in the horror community seems really, really friendly. I can't think of any horror like actors or directors that come off as jerky. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. But with that, I am going to close out the show. Also, tomorrow we're still working our way through Chucky and Stranger Things. So I'm trying to time it so that we finish Stranger Things episode 7 just before the episode 8 and 9 premiere. So that's why I'm stretching it out like this. Toadman says, other than The Fly, don't think I've seen anything Cronenberg. You definitely should check out Videodrome. I think you would like that. I don't know whether you would like Dead Ringers because it's more of a slow build movie, and I know you're not into slower films, and it's more of a psychosexual thriller, more so than straight up horror. But yeah, I would definitely suggest those two. Let me share my screen. Scanners. That was Cronenberg? I didn't know that was Cronenberg. I love Scanners. Scanners 2 is a solid sequel also. Okay, let me plug my stuff one more time. Like I said, on my other channel, I'm still making my way through 90 Day Fiance season 9. I'm also, let me go back a piece. There we go. Also working my way through 90 Day Love in Paradise, which is a wild ass show. So check those out Mondays and Tuesdays at 4 p.m. And with that, I will get out of here. I didn't mean to put that up there. Oh, one more comment before I go. Videodrome. Does some guy's stomach turn into a VCR? Yes. So to speak, yes. That's Videodrome. And it's drone with it's one word, and Videodrome with an M. And it stars, is that James Woods or Peter Weller? I think that's James Woods. I always used to confuse James Woods and Peter Weller. What's weird? This is the picture that formerly, check this out. This is so weird. This is the picture that when I was looking for it, it said image not found. Now when I'm not looking for it, there it is. That's the picture I was going to start. With, but just so you know, my computer, I don't know what is up with it. Tony Man says, thanks, night. And Kubrick Lover says Peter Weller was in Naked Lunch. Yes. I have not seen that as an adult. I remember my mother having that on VHS and watching it as a kid. I would like to see it as an adult, and maybe I'll understand it more. I do understand that it comes from a book. Okay, with that, I'm finally out of here. All right. Bob says, good stream. See you next time. Thank you very much. Kubrick Glover says, I didn't think Naked Lunch was that great. See, I can't speak on it because, like I said, I remember it. I mostly remember a typewriter and like a bug. And I remember him sitting at a bar talking to another giant bug. But that's all I remember about it. I have to rewatch it. I usually enjoy most Cronenberg, though. Yes. Okay, let me get out of here because I'm hungry. I want to have dinner. So bye.